I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Milker Government Channel. The Experience Children's Museum provides a safe, family-centered educational experience. It inspires creativity, exploration, and imagination through play, interactive exhibits, and innovative programming. They were named Erie's Choice for Museums for the past 5 years, along with Erie's Choice for the best place to have a birthday party in 2017. The museum is a place where children can race a boat, paint a painting, shop healthy, imagine a career, and produce a play. Ainsley Brozig, the executive director, is going to share with us how the museum has worked around the last year of COVID restrictions and what we can expect in our visits moving forward. Ainsley, thank you. It is so wonderful to have you back on the program again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. How crazy has this last year been for you?
Yeah. You know, when you're dealing with a hands-on pandemic and you are a hands-on children's museum, it's definitely a challenge. But you know what? I think we would all say that we've grown from this experience, and the Children's Museum field has all worked together with children's museums across the country, working together, so we weren't alone. So we've learned a lot, and I think we're going to come out of this for the better.
Now, how did it affect some of your programs throughout the year?
So, you know, the whole concept of the Children's Museum is learning through play, and it's hands-on learning. So there's not a lot of iPads and digital exhibits inside the museum. So they're touching, physically handling items in the museum. So while the museum was closed, and we were closed for a good 6 months, we decided to do some virtual programming. So things that people could do with their children at home, because we were all struggling being a stay-at-home working teacher and parent.
Right.
And so we did a program called Museum 101. And so it was taking museum concepts and using things in your own home to give kids some hands-on learning.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. So filling your bathtub with water. We have a water table at the museum, right?
Okay.
And we gave kids tips to use items in their house to build a boat, and then create dams in their bathtub to kind of have the kids form a path, just like you would do at the water table. Super fun, something that you wouldn't normally maybe do at home. We also, you know, we're huge proponents of getting out in nature. So we talked about maybe gathering some materials from outside and painting a painting or making an art piece with that. It really gave families a chance to, I think, connect in a different way. And so we did that programming throughout the year. And then we also did a program called Experience My Home, which is where we took new Americans in the community and we had the children of these new Americans introduce their culture. So you would have a little girl like Sham, who is one of our superstars from the videos, and she would introduce people to her concept and the concepts in her life in Syria, and how her traditions and stuff, what they do here in Erie that they brought from Syria. So we had Puerto Rico, we had the Congo, just all, I think there was 8 different countries represented, and it was told by the child, and it was a way for kids to connect and to see different countries.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea. Because you're right, everybody was pretty much stuck at home. And there's only so much schoolwork that they were able to do or wanted to do where they needed a break. So actually, you're teaching them in a fun way and they don't even realize that they're learning, right?
Exactly, exactly, yeah. And you know, I really am a proponent for, we always say childhood is so short, right? So I know myself, it really gave me a time that I'll never get back to spend with my kids, right? When is the last time you were all at home together? So you can experience these things with your kids and learn just as much as they are.
You know, I am so amazed, Ainsley, every time I talk to you, whatever comes your way, you find a way really to work around it and to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah.
So I really do. I think these programs are great. Now, I know when we go to visit you now, do you have some new policies in place from, say, for instance, I was there 2 years ago, and then if I come now, what new policies do you have in play?
Yeah, correct. So we'll follow the CDC guidelines. So everybody ages 2 and up will have to wear a mask when they come to the museum. I think everybody's pretty used to that by now. And then we do practice social distancing. So there will be cues on the floor, places to stand. For example, when you're checking in, all of our tickets are actually sold online.
Okay.
So that speeds up the process. There's no handling of money or anything like that. And then we ask you to socially distance throughout the museum. So at each exhibit, it will say how many families are allowed in that space.
Okay.
We've doubled our staff on the floor. So they are there to assist and to kind of gently remind people to social distance. They're also there to sanitize and clean. We've always prided ourselves on how clean the Children's Museum is, but of course we've now stepped it up a notch. And so we have 3 sessions throughout the day that you can come. And so those 2-hour sessions, not only are we cleaning in between families, but then in between the sessions, we're switching out materials. So instead of 3 baby dolls, we have 23 that we're constantly rotating and sanitizing. And so it's been a little bit more expensive for us, a little bit more time consuming. However, we know that this is what we have to do to survive. And now more than ever, families need places like the Children's Museum.
Yes, they do. I couldn't imagine the job of sanitizing. I'm just thinking of your little grocery store and all the food.
Well, we had to change that concept a bit. That's a great point. So what's funny about the grocery store? Everybody loves to shop, but no one likes to put it away on the shelf. No one likes to be the restocker on the shelves, right? So each child, when they come into the grocery store, gets a bag of groceries, their own bag of groceries.
Okay.
And so they can scan them and check them out, but then they also have to restock the shelves. That they only have their bag of groceries and the 4 other kids that are allowed in at the time.
Oh, okay.
So that way we can easily sanitize and clean when those children are done.
Right. Not an easy task, though.
So, is it different? Yes. But
Right.
you know what? Kids are resilient and they don't even know.
They don't.
They'll scan the same carton of eggs 15 times, right?
Just so they can hear that beep.
Yes.
Oh, Ainsley, I want to go back a little bit to your mission statement. All right, I know with all this going on, how do you keep helping to achieve these goals?
Yeah, that is a really great point. So when COVID first started, one of the things that I am so proud of, as I said before, was all of these children's museums working together. And so it really took the minds of 100 other directors across the country. We even worked with museums in China and Italy and said, okay, we have to change what we're doing a little bit, but we want to stay true to what we believe, which is that learning through play is essential to a kid growing up, and that families need places like the Children's Museum. So we all work together to come up with what could we do online. And there's no competition. We're all working together in this plan. And then really working with my staff and what are the most important things that the community needs from us right now. So we immediately thought of the virtual programming, right? Moms might need a little bit of a break. So does it help if Miss Ashley, our educator, is on and she's leading the kids through an activity, story times, virtual story times? What can we do to help families at home? And so that's really where we focused. And now more than ever, we really feel strongly that if we can live through a hands-on pandemic, we can pretty much handle anything.
I think you can. I think a lot of us have even amazed ourselves that we're able to get through and still feel so positive about everything, moving forward. I know, Ashley, you have monthly programs. You've had those in the past. Are you still going to be offering those?
So we did just restart our preschool programming.
Okay.
That was an age in particular that was struggling, right?
Yes.
Are used to being able to come to our classes and go out and have the museum to themselves and play. So we just restarted those programs. We only take 10 kids in a class, and they're about an hour long. It includes museum playtime afterwards for an hour. And those have been very popular. We've sold out of those sessions. And then we do hands-on programming. So during a visit to the museum, you can have an engagement with one of our educators where we just take an exhibit and kind of bring the concept to life a little bit more. So right now they're doing coding with little tiny bumblebees that we call bee bots.
Okay.
And so easy to sanitize, something that kids probably don't have at home. Kids can code better than you and I can, for sure, but they can work with our educators and play with these little robots at the museum, and that's all included in your admission. So we are starting to pick things back up again. We're going to be hosting some special events. As always, though, we do have to follow the guidelines set by the governor and the CDC.
Right.
So children's museums are extra cautious,
Okay.
but I always say if we can handle programming and stuff, then other people can too.
Well, you're doing a pretty darn good job. I'm just listening to everything that you've implemented, and again, I just think it's wonderful because these children really are starving for something like that. You know, it's hard enough for them to learn their schoolwork, you know,
Right.
virtually.
Well, their whole life has been disrupted.
Yes, it has been.
You know, I actually had a story the other day. A mom emailed and said, "Thank goodness you're starting to reopen. My little one asks every day, can we go to the museum?" And, you know, for some preschoolers, it was a routine. They go with mom or dad or grandma, you know, every Monday or every Tuesday.
Right.
And, you know, their whole life has changed. Brother and sister aren't going to school. Mom and dad aren't going to work. What's going on here? And it can be scary.
Yes.
Why are we all wearing masks? So we've really tried to keep things as normal as possible. We put some signage throughout the museum too. One thing that I'm proud of is my educators came up with, when kids had to first start wearing masks, we thought, oh, this is kind of weird, right? Because if you wear a mask to a child, something's wrong. And so we thought, how can we help ease their discomfort? So we came up with the idea that superheroes wear masks. Very rarely do you see a superhero that doesn't have some kind of mask on,
Right.
right? And kids love superheroes. So we did this positive messaging throughout the museum that is, be a superhero, be an ECM superhero, and wear your mask. And so they saw pictures of kids wearing masks with their hands on their hips and their capes, and just trying to be supportive, knowing that they have to wear it at school. And we really tried to be at the forefront of introducing wearing masks was okay.
Ainsley, what age group do you think is the best age group to enjoy the museum?
So we really target 8 and under.
Okay.
Our sweet spot is probably kindergarten, first grade, preschool for sure. We do see kids as young as 6 months. We do a baby class, which is kind of like an introduction to music and story time and that kind of thing. But really kindergarten is the best for us. We do have plans though to expand because
Of course you do.
We
Of
know
course.
that you know, kids past first grade, second
Right.
grade, you
Yes.
know, they need us. We don't want them to outgrow us.
Exactly.
And so we have plans to expand the museum and reach out to those age groups as
That's
well.
wonderful. Wonderful. I know you have 3 different floors. Can we get like a little brief
Sure.
summary of what, if a visitor comes, what they can enjoy on each floor?
So the first floor is called our Explore floor, and that's kind of like all about the elements: wind, air, well, I guess air and wind are the same, water, and then we have earth, so our cave, so they get to dig and look at fossils and whatnot. And so the water table is the biggest thing down there that they love. And then, of course, they love the cave because it has a slide.
Of course
and
they do.
so that's a favorite as well. We also have some air tubes that you can throw balls or scarves through. We have that shut down right now because of COVID, but that'll probably come back soon. And then also on the first floor is our outdoor space, our outdoor classroom, which is open 6 months out of the year. At the least, we try to keep it open as much as possible because we are a certified outdoor classroom, and so we believe in nature for children every day.
Okay.
We want them to go out in the rain, we want them to go out in the snow, as long as it's not freezing or below. A little bit of nature every day is perfect for kids.
Great.
And then the second floor has our Imagine area, which is all kind of about Erie, I would say. It has our little town that has the doctor's office, the bank, Donato's Pizza Shop, and our grocery store. We have a locomotive up there, we have our stage, and some of our science exhibits as well. So that's probably one of the favorite floors. We recently, in the past year or so, got a giant operation game. So just like the game you played probably with your daughter, now they have a huge giant version of that in the doctor's office.
That would be fun.
Yeah. And then lastly, when you go all the way down to the lower level, that's our creativity center.
Okay.
And that's where you focus on a lot of art projects. So art with Legos, art with light. We have an open studio where there's different projects every week or every month that they can do. And then we also have our baby spot where babies and pre-walkers can learn to crawl and walk and hang out in a safe way.
I've been in all 3 floors, and I've been in the outdoor area, and it is, every time you go there, it's almost like you see something different because there is so much to see. You've got so much activity going on there.
Well, and we're constantly looking to change. That was one thing that parents say, you know, we have people that come once or twice a week. So they want to see things rotated. So we often will rotate things so that a visit is always a little different. Museum exhibits are extremely costly,
Right.
but we have partnered with the Carnegie Science Center, and so we're able to bring some different exhibits at a lower price point for us, which is great. And then just kind of making small changes. It's crazy what a few small changes can really change the whole concept and feel of an exhibit.
Do you have any annual events I know you have annual events. Are you going to continue them this year? And if so, what do you think you're going to implement?
Yes, we do. We've had to scale back a little bit.
Right.
So we're trying to do one a month. So we have our superhero event in May, which is going to be, you have to get a special ticket for that, but it's Superhero Experience is what it's called.
Okay.
And there's some fun activities that go with that. We do our Future Me Kids Career Fair. That's one of our most popular events where we have people from different professions throughout the community that come in and have a little table and talk to the kids about their career path. We have an event called Multicultural Asia Day, which focuses on all the countries in Asia, and the new Americans and the populations in Erie that live here come and tell us about their country. And then we'll have, of course, our street soiree, our big fundraiser in August for adults. But this year we're also going to throw a little bit of a celebration because last year was our 25th birthday and we didn't get to celebrate it. So we decided that we're going to throw a party in August 8th. And it's going to be right in front of our museum in the street so we can space ourselves out. And we're going to have Smith's hot dogs and popcorn and jugglers and magicians and performances and just kind of celebrate the museum and let families come down and have some fun.
What an absolute fun idea that is, Ainsley. You're right, I feel so bad we couldn't celebrate your 25th year, but that's okay. It's sort of like your birthday's not over till you get the last birthday card. So
yeah, we're calling it the birthday remix, right?
There
We're going
you go.
back, yeah.
Now you have memberships still
do.
available, right? And what is the benefit of a membership?
So memberships allow you to come into the museum as many times as you want in a year. So for families that have 4 kids, 3 kids, you know, that really makes sense. Or to the family that's coming multiple times, it'll pay for itself. We also have a membership that's a little bit higher of a price point that if you're doing any traveling this summer, which, you know, we're all dying to go travel, right? This membership gets you into other children's museums.
Oh,
So that
okay.
one's called the Explorer membership, and it's $130. But again, we are a relatively inexpensive children's museum. When you go to Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Cleveland, those ticket prices are a little higher.
Yes.
And so this membership would really benefit your family to get.
Great idea. Now, Ainsley, how are you funded and how can we help you?
So we are 90% self-supporting. All of the tickets that we raise, from admission to memberships, gift shop, classes, that all goes right back into the museum. We are an EGCRA lead asset, so we do get a little bit of the gaming funds.
Okay.
We are the smallest entity there, though, so we don't get, it's not enough to support us wholly. But we're grateful to be a lead asset. We get a lot of support from grants. We are a Pennsylvania Historical Museum, so we do get some funding from there. A little bit as well, and lots of individual donations and corporate donations. We are a community museum, and so the community, we need their support. And so the best way to support us is to come, purchase a membership, make a donation, tell the families in your life about us, bring in tourists. That's the best way to support us, is to physically come and or give a donation.
Okay. Now, Ainsley, there's always a need for volunteers, isn't there?
So with COVID right now, we are not taking volunteers inside the museum.
Okay.
However, we are taking garden volunteers.
Oh, all right.
Because our outdoor space always has something going on and could use some support. So if anybody has a green thumb out there and would like to support us that way, we would gladly take you up on that.
And I'm sure as things start opening up, viewers, there will be a need for volunteers. So always just, give them a call or just, keep an ear open, see how things are moving. Ainsley, thank you so much for joining us on the program today. It goes by too quickly with you, quite honestly. But I'm amazed at everything that you've done with the museum, how you've worked through everything. And again, I want to mention again how you always put a positive spin on everything and are always looking to the future. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Viewers, there you have it. They're open to the public. Please get your ticket online. Support them this year. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a lot of fun. If you have any questions, check out their website for their phone number and to be able to get your tickets. So any other questions, feel free to give them a call. Thank you for tuning into the Milk Government Channel. And until next time, have a wonderful day.